Can you actually get a full dinner in Vietnam for less than $5 US? Let's find out. Welcome back, guys. Day 2 of my full-time YouTube life, and reality is hitting hard. Since I'm officially on a strict budget now, I'm challenging myself tonight. Look at this. Exactly 115,000 VND. To most tourists, this looks like pocket change, but on the streets of Vietnam, it might just buy me a feast. Let's head down to the garage, get the bike, and see if I can survive the night without going completely broke. Let's go. Heading into the basement to grab my bike. You might notice someone is missing tonight. Yep, Dola has to stay home this time. Since I only have 115K, if I brought her along, she'd probably eat up half my budget in 2 seconds. Sorry, girl, tonight is a solo mission. Let's roll. Riding out into the cool evening air, my stomach was already throwing a tantrum. I started thinking about what to open my food tour with. Back when I was trapped in that 9-to-5 cubicle, this exact time was always my favorite. You're exhausted, your brain is fried, and all you can think about is a quick, greasy street snack to get you through the commute home. I think everyone who's ever worked an office job knows that feeling. So I decided to go with a trend that's been taking over the streets lately. Grilled stone sausages. Lap Suong Nuong Da. They smell absolutely incredible. They're 15,000 VND a piece. Now, in the video, you'll see me buying 2 because I have a friend tagging along tonight. But hey, rules are rules. To keep this challenge honest, I'm only counting 1 sausage for my own budget. So, 115,000 VND minus 15,000 VND. That leaves me with exactly 100,000 VND for the rest of the night. Math is getting serious now. But man, look at that sizzle. Worth every single dong. Oh my God, look at that. 1 bite and the juice literally exploded everywhere. Note to self, never eat stone-grilled sausages in a nice shirt. Since this stall is strictly grab and go with no place to stand, my friend and I hopped back on the bike and drove over to a nearby convenience store to finish our snack. And honestly, it brought back so many memories. Back in my office days, whenever a project went wrong or I had a rough meeting, the convenience store was my ultimate sanctuary. Since it's a pretty warm night, a cold dessert is non-negotiable. Look at this freezer, absolutely packed with ice cream. I grabbed 2 cones, but per the rules of tonight's budget, I'm only counting my chocolate one, which is exactly 7,000 VND, less than 30 cents. Paid, done, and now we're enjoying it right out front. Man, 100K minus 7K? I'm down to 93,000 VND. This budget is shrinking, but my happiness is definitely growing. Seriously, there is nothing better than ice cream on a warm night. But look at this. My budget is down to 93,000 dong, and my stomach is still 90% empty. Ice cream for appetizer was a risky move, guys. We need to find a real heavy meal right now. What should we get next? After that sweet appetizer, it's time for the main event. We rode over to a local beef noodle soup stall. The moment we stepped in, the aroma of lemongrass and beef broth completely filled the air. My friend and I each ordered a bowl, and I went with bun ba. I piled it high with fresh greens. My bowl costs exactly 35,000 VND. Sitting here waiting for the food, looking at this steaming bowl, I couldn't help but think about my new journey. Yesterday, I officially left my corporate safety net. No more monthly salary. It's day 2 of being a full-time YouTuber, and honestly, it's terrifying. The uncertainty is real. But you know what? A comforting 35,000 VND bowl of noodles like this reminds me that life's simplest pleasures are still within reach. Math check. 93,000 VND minus 35,000 VND. I'm down to 58,000 VND. My wallet is getting lighter, but my soul feels warm. Let's dig in. Oh man, this broth is pure magic. A little bit of chili oil, a squeeze of lime, and everything just comes together perfectly. With only 58,000 dong left, I might not be rich in cash anymore, but sitting here enjoying this flavor, I feel like the wealthiest guy in town. Let's finish this up and find our next stop. Right after the noodles, we hopped back on the bike and rode to a nearby roadside dessert stall. They have a huge menu, but my eyes went straight to one thing: hot tofu with ginger syrup, do hu nong. My friend grabbed a sweet soup, but for me, this bowl is pure nostalgia. It's the exact comfort food my mom used to make for me back in the day, and honestly, sitting here, I really miss her. My stomach is getting pretty full, but the challenge must go on. My bowl costs 15,000 VND. Eating this warm, sweet dessert also makes me think of Dola at home. She's probably waiting by the door, wondering why her human is out eating feasts without her. Leaving my 9 to 5 means no more stable routines, which makes me feel guilty for leaving her alone sometimes. But it also gives me the drive to make this YouTube dream work, so I can build a better future for both of us. Math check. 58,000 VND minus 15,000 VND. I'm down to 43,000 VND. One last stop to go. As I pulled the bike out and started riding, the cool night air hit my face, and it felt amazing. My stomach was completely packed, but with 43,000 dong left, I needed one last stop to finish the challenge. So, I just drove. From one brightly lit street to another, letting the wind clear my head while figuring out what that final bite should be. Riding through the city like this, without rushing to some deadline or checking work emails, feels incredibly liberating. But honestly, it's a bit overwhelming too. For years, my life was on autopilot. Now, every single choice, every video, and my entire future rests solely on my own shoulders. There's no boss to tell me what to do, but there's also no safety net if I fail. It's scary, guys. But looking at the vibrant life on these streets, it reminds me of why I took this leap. I wanted to tell stories, to connect, and to live on my own terms. And right now, even with a tight budget, I've never felt more alive. All right, after a long drive, I think I finally found the perfect final spot. Let's pull over. For the grand finale, I pulled over at a roadside fried fish cake cart right near my apartment. The display was packed with options, but sticking to my budget, I picked 5 skewers at 5,000 VND each. Fish cakes, fried quail eggs, squid cakes, fried fish paste, and fried wontons. While frying, the owner accidentally dropped 2 pieces, so when it was time to pay, he only charged me 20,000 VND instead of 25K. What a stroke of luck! Math check. 43,000 VND minus 20,000 VND. I successfully finished the challenge with exactly 23,000 VND left in my pocket. You know, standing there waiting for my food, looking at the bubbling oil, I had this sudden wave of emotion. This roadside cart represents exactly what I love about Vietnam. It's raw, it's real, and it's full of unexpected kindness. When the owner gave me that 5K discount just because of a small mistake, it hit me right in the feels. It reminded me that even when things don't go perfectly, or when life drops a few pieces along the way, kind of like my sudden career change, there's always a way it works out in the end. Maybe the universe is telling me that on this new YouTube journey, I'll encounter small bumps, but as long as I keep moving forward, I'll be just fine. Money might be tight right now, but these genuine human connections, you can't put a price tag on that. Since I was completely stuffed, I packed it to go. I hooked the bag of fish cakes onto my bike and started heading back. Riding home late at night like this hit completely differently than during my old office days. Back then, this commute was filled with exhaustion and the dread of doing it all over again tomorrow. But tonight, even with the cool wind in my face, I felt a sense of purpose. I turned into the basement ramp, the loud street noise instantly cutting off, replaced by the familiar echoing hum of the parking lot. I parked the bike, locked it up, and walked over to the elevator. Standing there waiting for the doors to open, clutching that warm bag of food, my heart started racing a bit. Not from the challenge, but because I knew exactly who was waiting on the other side of that door upstairs. Let's head up. Oh my God, she was so incredibly happy to see me, wagging her tail like crazy. It completely melted my heart. You know, when you quit a stable job to chase a dream, the scariest part isn't the empty wallet. It's the empty feeling of coming home after a long, stressful day of self-doubt and wondering, did I make the right choice? But the moment I unlocked that door and saw Dola looking up at me like I'm the center of her entire universe, all that anxiety just evaporated. She doesn't care if I'm a successful YouTuber or a broke guy with 23,000 dong left in his pocket. She just loves me for who I am. After giving her some well-deserved love, I took a refreshing shower, changed into my comfiest pajamas, and fed her. And finally, here we are. Sitting right here at my computer desk, putting on a good movie on the screen, and enjoying these roadside fish cakes. The room is quiet, the monitors are glowing, and for the first time in a very long time, my mind feels completely still. Yesterday, I was absolutely terrified of losing the comfort of my old corporate routine. I kept asking myself if I was crazy for walking away from a stable paycheck. But sitting here tonight, at the very desk where I'm going to build my future, with my dog sleeping right by my chair, eating simple street food, and working on my own dream, it hits me. This peace? This ownership of my time? This is what I was fighting for. I realize that freedom is worth every single bit of the anxiety and struggle. Math check for the whole night. Day 2 of full-time YouTube, and I successfully survived on less than $5, with 23,000 VND to spare. The budget challenge was a success, but the real win is right here. Thanks for watching my journey, guys. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye!